Hey, what's going on, peeps? This is your man, Derek Terry, host of I'm Not Complaining, I'm Just Saying. Where you're going to complain, be prepared to bring solutions to the table. Welcome to Season 10, Episode 12, Part 1 of Charter, Race, and the Prince George's County effect. And the reason that I bring that up is because the charter probably it should be done or almost done. Just doing the final tweaks on it. But also, there is, and I'm not going to call it dis or misinformation. I'll call it inaccurate information when it comes to the charter and just in general, the elected officials having something directly to do with the rise in our property taxes. So I wanted to address that. One of the few times that, well, I wouldn't say few, but just one of those times where I want to make sure that we're accurate when it comes to what our elected officials can and cannot do. So I'm going ahead and share my screen and do the slideshow. There we go. Of course, that's me. We can bypass me. I wanted to put this up here, and the reason I say it, and I'll be saying it again, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. That's going to really come into play when I do the last episode and you understand why. All right, so brief, I guess, definition of some of the terms. And I got this from Miss Alexa or Dr. Alexa, or you can get yours from Dr. Google. But I'm not going to read this for you. But if you look through it, these are pretty much the definitions. Maryland property tax, that's something that's imposed by the state for local governments. The constant yield rate is, let's say, for instance, our budget is $600 million last year, and the elected officials or the general public said, we want to keep it at 600 million. That means they would have to lower the constant yield rate to make sure that we fit that. That most likely never happens because we typically get an increase in our revenues, and that revenue is used to provide more services or to give to some of, whether it's the school system, sheriff's department, state's attorney, whatever it may be, because they always ask for increase in budget, always. That I've never seen where they say, you know what, I think this year we'll take a decrease. I've never seen it, but I could be wrong. And of course, property tax imposed on residential homes to pay for local government services. So that's where we're at. So I want you to look at this. So I just threw up a number, 400,000. Our current property tax rate is 1.141%, which was passed during the Murphy, Robinson, Rucci, Stewart, and Davis administration. And from what I recall, and I could be wrong, two of the commissioners voted no, which would have been Davis and Rucci, and the other three voted yes. Thus, that increase in tax, our property tax rate was increased. Don't really recall having a lot of public hearings or anything to address it, because rest assured, had I known, and I should have known, I'd have been upset. Like, wait, why are we increasing it? We don't have nothing to show for it, but yet we're increasing it. But it happened. It is what it is. And once again, if I'm wrong on who voted for and against, I apologize right now, but I don't mind, correcting myself. So if you look at it based on that, the taxpayer who paid $400,000 for their house would be paying roughly $4,500 a year property tax. So if you look at the 2024, the Maryland tax assessment, state of Maryland, every 3 years will come in and say, okay, this is the value of your home. You want the prices of your home to go up, because if the price of your homes go down, thus you have no equity. So if you try to sell your house, you lost. That happened to us, well, during my lifetime, I believe around 2007, 2008. And a house is an investment. So for someone to say, you know what, I'm going to buy this house, say for $400,000, I don't mind if the state of Maryland comes in and says, you know what, it's worth $300,000 now. That's going to be a problem. because that means your whole neighborhood, as far as the value is drops. And when the value of anything drops, it's hard to get revenue. So let's keep that in mind. We'll come back to that in a second. So if you look at it, well, the tax assessment went up 24,000. The property tax rate stayed the same. So remember, this is the rate. So right now, you can't blame local government for this. You can't blame the commissioners for this because they didn't change anything, right? 6.7 increase. They'll be paying, roughly $300 extra a year. Now, what I want you to look at now is some people may not know, but there is a Maryland state property tax rate, which means that the commissioners could lower it. This is the lowest they can lower it to 1.015 or commensurate. So it could be lower depending on where you live at. But if you look at the difference, there is a actual decrease in what you would pay if they lowered the property tax rate. To Commissioner President Collins' credit, I brought this up to a couple of his town hall meetings. Why won't you lower it? He tried to duck me a couple times, but then he finally said, come on, man, you know why. The reason being, because if they lowered it, they would lose revenue. That means that all these additional things you want and all that, you wouldn't be able to get. Because now they have to, and one of the reasons because you have certain commissioners that were, well, I would say a commissioner that was very anti-business. Now she's very pro-business. Had she been pro-business when she first started, we probably wouldn't be in this situation right now. But you can check that yourself. You can check campaign financing and all that. You see who gave at the beginning and who started to not give. There's a reason for that. But the thing to remember, and this is what I say to, and I actually say to Commissioner Bowling. He said, let's give some people some money back in their pocket. I never heard you propose this. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't heard you. But why didn't you say, you know what? Why don't we go ahead and lower the property tax rate so we can put some money back into the people's pocket? If he said it, please let me know. Because it could have been done. Very easily. It could have been done. The average taxpayer would have got, paid about 2.4% less had he been so chipper and with all this vigor about putting money back into your pocket. So I think that is it for this particular episode, because I'm gonna get into the nitty-gritty my next episode, which is gonna air July 9th, I believe that's a Monday. So I would say, hopefully you can tune in. It's not going to be live. It'll be recorded live. So if you miss something, all you got to do is boop, hit stop, whatever, and you can get back to it. But this is just really for information purposes. I hope that you're able to chime in and get educated. And when I mean educated, I'm going to say it again. I really don't care how you vote for the charter. Excuse me, whether you vote yes or no. But if you're going to vote yes, know why. If you're going to vote no, know why. To say no, and then you don't read the charter, I'm not even talking to y'all. Y'all really not the ones I'm focused on. I'll be honest with you. I like playing with y'all and going back and forth. But at the end of the day, y'all don't matter to me at all. Because if the charter passes, guess what? You're going to be the ones that are going to be looking like, oh, what? Because you could have provided something to the charter that you like. But by providing nothing, your word don't mean nothing. It's like when people don't vote. You don't vote, I don't even care to talk to you. Don't talk about the election when you didn't vote. So that's how I look at it. But at any rate, gonna get ready to go. Thank you for your time. I'll continue. Peace and blessings to everyone. And I get at you when I get at you. Peace and blessings.